41% of the people in this city are dumb. Like, really dumb. And somehow they're also rich. But don't worry, when you're this rich, stupidity is just another problem money can solve. So today I'm fixing this by building a university so expensive and so exclusive, it gives the small brain millionaires in the city every possible advantage. And I want that university district to exist over here by the golf course. Or should I say golf club? A place where only the finest, only the richest, and apparently stupidest citizens may partake in the funnest activity, golfing. Either way, if we're gonna get this university in, we're gonna need some roads. And I want to use this 4-lane boulevard as my main road, mostly just because it's big, and it looks more fancy than a normal 4-lane road. Because the university is going to sit right here, I want to curve this 4-lane road towards the beach, and we're going to stop right where the beach starts. So let's take this 4-lane road and connect it back up with this one. And of course, because this is a university for rich people, we'll make sure that this entire stretch of road is just over the top and super big for no real reason. Well, I mean, at least the trees make it look somewhat nice. Now we're gonna have to take this road, and I want to wrap it around the contour line down here. We'll use this road to help us frame the university. Now this is going to be the most grand, most expensive university I've ever built. But before I start spending millions of dollars on rich idiots, I need to tell you about today's sponsor, War Thunder. They took more than 2,500 tanks, aircrafts, helicopters, and warships from the mid-20th century to the present day and let them loose across supermassive battlefields around the world. You can break through the front line in a tank, cover ground vehicles from a helicopter, or fight among the clouds in a jet, with different types of equipment operating together all on the same map. In War Thunder, all advanced military technologies are available. Guided missiles, active protection systems, smoke screens, night vision devices, and even a nuclear strike that can flatten the entire map. The new Heavy Cavalry update pushes the game even further into modern warfare with new vehicles such as the MiG-29K, M1A2C, and Leopard 2RI. Also, TV-guided missiles have been added, and the iconic Ardennes and Ash River maps have been fully updated visually. So be sure to download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox using the link in the description below. New players and players returning after 6 months or more will receive 100,000 Silver Lions, the Eagle of Valor decorator, and additional bonuses. War Thunder Mobile is also available. You can download it for free on iOS and Android and immerse yourself in the exciting battles on your phone using the separate link below. Alright, back to spending millions of dollars on rich idiots. We're going to need a really grand entrance. And because I want to get a lot of sports parks in, we're going to need about 32 units on the left and 32 units on the right. And we're also going to need a crazy amount of room for the university itself. And I think 82 units should be enough. Let's also upgrade this to be a 4-lane boulevard. And with these main roads in place, we just need to frame our buildings out, which means we're going to unlock everything except for the collider. Now let's place the first school, and that is going to be the Medical University. I want to aim this building to be right in the middle of this road. And now I want to do some terracing, because rich people love terracing. So we're going to do a little bit of terraforming, and by a little bit I mean a whole bunch, but don't worry, it's going to make this look so much better. I'm also not sure if the university is high enough yet. Like sure, that's pretty good, but is it good enough? I don't think so. And if we add a retaining wall on this side, it makes it feel so much more fancy, which is exactly what our rich people are going to want. And that gives us a really nice terrace. And the goal of this is to basically make it so that the entryway into the university just looks a little bit over the top, because when you have money, you don't have to worry about stuff like this. You can just do whatever you want, whenever you want. Now I want to upgrade this section into a pedestrian road, and we're going to need a super fancy roundabout here. And so now when you approach this hill, you either go right or you go left. But I want the traffic flow up here to make way more sense. Let's turn this into a one-way. There we go, that's making way more sense. But I still feel like the entryway to this university just isn't grand enough. So right in the middle, let's send a pedestrian road all the way across, and on each side, we're gonna have a one-way bicycle path. Are rich people biking to school? Probably not. They're probably getting dropped off by their private chauffeur, but that doesn't mean the people who work here won't be riding their bikes. Because keep in mind, We're gonna need golf caddies. We're gonna need people to do park maintenance, lawn maintenance, you name it. This district is gonna need a whole bunch of workers. And the easier we make it for those workers to get here, the better time our rich people are gonna have going to school. But we can take this one step further. Across from the university, we're gonna add in a bunch of these pocket parks. And so now, what you can do is sit down for a bite and watch the poor people ride to work. And this actually looks pretty good, but it's still not good enough for the entryway. The entryway needs to be way better than this. So let's use some of these upgrades to help. We'll add on the extension wing, and we have the research facilities. Apparently it helps the students' chances of graduating, and I think the rich people are going to need all the help they can get, so let's definitely add one of these in. And actually, I wonder if it stacks. Just in case it stacks, we're going to add in 2. Or better yet, why add in 2 when we can add in 3? And we'll come back later on to get those connected, because we have the practice clinic. The rich people are going to need all the help that they can get, so let's add 2 of these in. My question is, practice on who? Citizens near the university. Okay, they're probably paid not to talk about it. And there we go, looking much better. In fact, we even have our first visitor, the Trejo family, which means they're gonna get a special privilege. Rose Trejo, you are now Danny Trejo. You're welcome. And they are a student in the university. What is going on? They are a student at the university. Their household wealth is poor. Wait a minute. This isn't a university for poor people? How do you even afford this? I know how the rich people afford it. They're getting scholarships, grants, bursaries, you name it, that's what they're getting. They're not paying to come here. Which in fact, if we wanted to, we can open up the dev menu, go into gameplay, and we can turn the higher education service fee all the way to 0. Which means until I reload the game, this school is completely free to attend. It won't make any money, which makes perfect sense. It's a school for rich people, which means this school is funded by rich people. Maybe a few secret donations here and there. And I'm really loving to see that we have a bunch of activity, but we still need to add in some more buildings. And if we open up Find It, we can go into the Education and Research tab, and this gives us access to some buildings that we're really gonna need. And these will help improve the entryway into the university. So let's add on whatever this building is, I honestly don't know. Oh, it's the college. We didn't even need Find It for that. But we will need Find It in a second, because that's how we're gonna make our sports park. First, let's add on the upgrades to this building. It's gonna give us a whole bunch more capacity that we really don't need, but it's gonna make our college look way better. And I can't imagine the very rich people of Loon Lake wanting things to look ugly. Right now, we only have one connection into the university, and I wanna make one more. And I think we're gonna have to fix this road too. Yeah, there's no way, this is so bad. And now the road is fixed and doesn't look like an absolute roller coaster. I don't want to get carried away though. We still have so many more buildings to add and so much more expansion to do. So we're going to make one more connection. Now let's send this road all the way down. And there is something special that I want to do with this road. But before that, I want to add in a crazy amount of sports parks. And right off of the main road is going to be the best position because the rest of the university is going to be heavily focused on pedestrian roads. Now this is when Find It is going to come in handy. We have all of these sports fields that we wouldn't normally have access to. And just look at that. The rich cool guys driving motorcycles are gonna love this. Another poor person. Absolutely absurd. The sports parks are in a really good place. But I really want the university to look impressive, so we're gonna need a building for this lot. We could use the Japanese university, throw on every upgrade to make it look way more impressive, then add in some type of sports park back here. And we need a place of recreation, somewhere the rich people can hang out, which is why we're going to use the Sports Hub Pavilion, because it offers food stands with culinary delights, and an amazing outdoor seating area, which to be honest, just kind of looks like a dump, but it's fine. Because look, they can play tennis, and they can also watch the game of football. And I'm just loving the way that this looks right now. It feels super premium, and when you're driving down this road, whatever that is, it almost feels like you're driving to your doom. The building is just so big and overpowering, but is it good enough? No, it's definitely not, and we can do way better. We need to start being a little bit more crazy. So first, I want to continue this pedestrian road out. And before I continue with the pedestrian road, I want to send out this road here. Why doesn't this have a roundabout? How are we supposed to be fancy without a roundabout? Anyways, what I want to do is extend this down, and then I want to make a bridge segment right here. So let's level all of this out. And you know what? To help me get the bridge segment in, I need to add in the next building. That's going to be the Modern Technical University. Now let's wrap this entire building with a pedestrian road. And this building comes with some amazing upgrades. All they do is add capacity, which we really don't need. All I really care about is that it makes the building look a little bit more fancy. So we'll add in 2 of these academy buildings. And then on the lower half, let's add in the lecture hall. Yes, rich people love being lectured. That's a fact. And that's looking pretty good. Oh, wait a minute. No, not a fire. We don't have any fire coverage down here. The community firehouse, that should be perfect. I'm going to place that right across here for now. And I'll give it all of its upgrades. I don't know what any of them do, but I don't really care. Now let's add on the district really quickly. Assign this to the district, and please stop burning down. You have no idea what the parents of these rich kids will do to us. We do not have the money for lawyer fees in order to take care of this. Where are you, fire truck? Hurry up. Oh yeah, just enter in here, do a U-turn through the trees. That's great, take your sweet time. And it's about damn time. We only had to lose 1 park, it seems like. But who cares when you can just buy another park? Alright, so this should be taken care of. This is looking way better. We just need to do something about this building. And I swear, if I see a single car drive on any of these roads, I'm probably going to have a stroke. Now I want to be able to connect this pedestrian road into the other side of the street. I want to send this road across first. And because there shouldn't be any freight traffic on these roads, I don't really care if the bridge isn't... Never mind. I was going to say, I don't really care if it's tall enough for cars, but I don't even think that's tall enough for a pedestrian. So here's my new brilliant idea. We'll slope between these 2 nodes, and that's probably a little bit too much. And it's beautiful. It truly is. And our college capacity is already stupidly high at 22,000 with only 6,000 eligible. So we're going to have to ignore that and just add one in anyways, which we're going to place right across from our technical university. And no parking. Parking is banned because we will have this type of park instead. Now this college comes with a few upgrades, but the majority of them really don't matter. We will add on the sports field to the back, but what I really want is these college dorms, because I want to place a whole bunch of these within this lot. And I also decided to add in this little park area, but the dorms are done and they're looking good. So now we have our technical university, our medical university, the normal college, the modern college, but we're still missing another super fancy building. And the only other one that I could see would be the technical university. And this thing is just massive. And I will have this building front our main road. Now we have our normal college dorms, and this is for like the millionaires, maybe you got like 5 or 10 million. But what we need is college dorms for the ultra millionaires, which is why we're going to use this building as that residence. So we'll consider this one to be the main building. Right in the middle, we'll have the super big one, and there's one more left. And finally, the elite student housing is done. Now, where would you rather live? In the elite student housing or in the poor millionaire college dorm housing? I did add these tennis courts over here just to give these students something to do. And of course, we need a thick row of trees to make sure that no one sees inside. Now, it is time to waste some space. Throughout this entire university build, I've been pretty land efficient. Things are packed pretty tightly. And would a rich university pack all of these buildings tightly? No, of course they wouldn't. Because if they need more land, they can just buy more land. They're rich. Which means we need to take this center plaza and turn it into some type of park. And I imagine this to be the place where rich people can just sit around, have a rich time, drink rich shooters, listen to rich music, and then just sit around and soak up each other's richness. Or I don't know, maybe this is the place where graduations happen. And I decided to completely change the strategy. I added the Grand City Plaza, one of these pavilions, and then underneath it, we have a small area for graduation. This is about as much as I can do, otherwise I'm gonna go insane trying to figure it out. I still did want to add the University Park though, so I placed it here instead. And this is really where everyone can soak up each other's richness, which I think is a really important thing to have in a university. We've spent so much money, yet somehow we're making even more. It just feels so nonsensical. Now there's only a few more things that we have to do. We need some services, because right now all we have is fire. And if we take a look at our police coverage, yeah, it's not doing too well. And because the speed limit on the pedestrian roads is so slow, we need as much coverage as we can possibly get. Let's unlock the police headquarters. And I really like the urban police headquarters. And we want to make sure that we have it very close to our elite student housing, because we want them to feel safe. But we don't want it too close, because the sound could interrupt all of their rich activities. We're going to add on the garage extension for 20 more cars, and we'll set this to operate in this district. Fire is already done, so we're good there, but we are going to need some type of medical clinic, and we'll place that right beside the police station. Next up, we're going to need a crematorium, and we kind of have to go with the San Diego one, just because it's so fancy. Then of course, we're going to need mail, and the fanciest building is the historical post office. But it does have the upgrade for the city museum. And next up is going to be telecom. And of course, it's not green. So we could always place another telecom tower or even another server farm. And I swear, I can quit anytime I want. I'm not addicted. And to prove it, let's try the server upgrade first. And we'll also add on the fiber optic cables, which puts us so close to this new area. That's fine though, because I have a brilliant idea. And in the research tab, we have the radio telescope. And what I love about this is that it boosts the graduation chance citywide. All of our rich, stupid people are probably going to need this. We also have the Geological Research Center, and that is going to boost ore deposits and oil deposits citywide, which is only going to help make our rich people richer. So if we combine these two with the satellite uplink, I don't think we should ever have to worry again. So let's quickly unlock the satellite. So I want to get all three of these buildings away from the school, and we're going to have them on this hill instead. And because we're probably going to have some people living down here, I also want to make a small road network just to give us the foundation. And apparently, the satellite uplink doesn't actually give you internet. So then why is it under telecom? What a waste of time. And it's funny because we just have to add another telecom tower. So clearly I'm addicted. I mean, I'm not addicted. I can stop at any time, I swear. Now show me all green. Yes. Perfect. Because there is only one more service left, and that is waste management. We're definitely going to have to add in something over here, because I don't want a repeat of what's happening right now. But I also don't want to think about it too much. So let's just add in one of these waste collection centers and we'll have it closer to the farms. Now that should be all of our services ready to go. But we still have this big chunk of land, and we have to do something with it. And the last building we're going to place is the Citizen Service Center. Supposedly the building helps with unemployment. And here is the brand new university. We can't just stop here, because we have two main problems. Sure, if you're a rich person, you can just get your chauffeur to drive you to the school. But if you're not, and you're just some lowly peasant who works here, well then how are you going to get here? Not only how are you going to get here, but what about all the other rich people who live in different cities like Providence Bay? How are they going to get here? That's why we're going to add a train station for this district. And I want the Mediterranean train station, mostly just because it ends, and this building can front this road, which is perfect because it's a pedestrian road. And this road has access to the rest of the campus. To get this train line connected in though, I am going to have to reorientate which direction this points. To be honest though, I really don't think these tracks should be used for inner city transportation. It's just such a short distance. I see this route primarily just being a route that goes from the outside connection and then back to the station. And we will call this University to Palo Seco. Ticket price $1, and we'll only throw one vehicle on it for the time being. And we'll make it a nice bright blue. Now for inner city transport, I want to add in a bus stop shelter along this loop. And I really just want this route to do one thing really well. It's going to bring everyone from this station to the university and then back. We'll call this Line 5, Manor Field to University, and I'm going to make the ticket price free. 17 vehicles is overkill. Let's start out with 6 and see if we even use that many. So now that we have the university done, we have transit done, we're almost ready to move on to some zoning. But before that, I really want to activate the golf club, which means we're going to need a main building. And I have the perfect main building. That's going to be the Hardwick Hall. Basically, this is where all the rich golfers are going to come and hang out and do anything but golf, because it's more of a prestigious thing. You come here so that everyone knows you have money and you can pay for the membership. And then I just want to give this some love and make it a bit more fancy. And with all of these squiggles in place, you can now have the high ground, watch your friends play golf, and make fun of them because they missed their shot. And I honestly know nothing about golf, so I have no idea what else to do with this. The only other thing I could think of would be to add some trees. But if you have any ideas on how to make this golf club better, let me know. All we have to do is extend the grid, add in some commercial and some residential, and then we'll finally be able to check and see if our rich people are smarter. Now the reason why I say extend the grid is because we have all of this new land, and we're not really going to touch anything above this contour line. I'm going to stop you there, past Loon, because this is future Loon, who's done about 8 hours of grid building and gone insane. Instead of trying to explain anything, let's get the grid done first. And basically, this is the grid. Now, I've went a little bit insane trying to build this, and that's because I was trying to accomplish everything all at once. So in this case, what I've done is try and give myself a break. I did have to tweak and move some of the services and their placement, but let's just get into zoning. So what I want to do is along this waterfront, I want North American low-density waterfront business. Now all of that is filling out. There is 3 special buildings that we really need to place in. These rich students, they need their car washed. So we have the Red Loon car wash. And I promise you, this definitely isn't money laundering. Urban Loon Incorporated would never do anything so silly. Now what I really like about this asset is that it actually tells a story. And right now I'm telling the story backwards. The idea was that Urban Loon Incorporated bought this car wash and it was abandoned. Now technically the abandoned one would have been demolished and then it would have turned into this. This is more of a self-serve car wash. But I still want to place the abandoned car wash in somewhere just because I think it's such a unique asset. So let's do that over here in the industrial area, because it would definitely make sense that it was abandoned over here. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to come over here to clean my car. So those are the 3 special assets that I really wanted to get in. Now these rich students, they're going to need somewhere to work. So we have the strip mine office, and right across from the Red Loon car wash is going to be a great place for this. Next up we have the bottle cap office. This building is very unique, and I don't really see it anywhere near a university. So we're going to bulldoze some cheap low-rent apartments. Next up, we are going to need a place for all of these beautiful rich students to buy some books. What better place to buy books than the greatest bookstore of all time? That's right, it's Barnes & Noble in time. Now, I don't want to go any more crazy on commercial or office until we have all of our residential zoned in. So with that in mind, it's time to move on to some zoning. And I've tried to build the districts in a way that's going to help me. So everything within District 8, I want medium density. District 6, District 7, and District 10 are all going to be low density. Finally, District 9 is going to be a mix of both low density and medium density. And I'm super excited to see how this turns out. So let's get zoning. Alright, there is all of the low density done. There is a teeny tiny problem. When we leave photo mode, there is a whole bunch of death and a whole bunch of fires. And I genuinely surprise myself sometimes, because none of these districts have any services aside from the Waste Collection Center, and I made the majority of these services for the university, not all of this population. Between names 7, 6, and 10, there's around 10,000 citizens here. And let's use both a crematorium and a cemetery to solve this death care issue. So next up, we're going to need some healthcare. And let's unlock the hospitals because I want a whole bunch of capacity. And the Urban Medical Center is going to be perfect right across from the university. It would make sense anyways because we already have the medical university right there. And then let's add on the specialized clinics along with the ambulance depot. And I'm pretty surprised with how effective this building is, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm going to give each of these areas their own dedicated small medical clinic. And I also added a few more medical clinics in some of the older areas, just to make sure that the majority of our development is all green. Next up, we have a bunch of houses burning down. 1, 2, 3, 3 so far. And given how important the university is, we're going to unlock the fire stations. And let's place the southwestern fire station right across from the road and park maintenance. And we're going to add on the disaster aid office because we don't have one yet. Similar to the medical clinics though, we want to make sure that our response time is solid, so I'm going to go through and add a few more of these smaller ones. And now we've got a solid green for fire in all of our developed areas, minus a few roads. But just ignore those roads don't matter. Next up is police, and because we already have the urban police headquarters right beside these areas, I really don't think that we need to do any more. It does seem like we are having some police issues in the entertainment district, and that makes sense. It's not exactly the easiest district to maneuver around. So I'm going to place 2 of these rural police stations, which means the entertainment district is going to have its own 10 vehicles. But apparently that still isn't enough. The crime probability is essentially 0. It's the police coverage that's the problem. And it looks like this building actually comes with an upgrade for the police headquarters. We would just have to unlock the underground parking building. And it's pretty expensive, but it also comes with a pretty solid boost of -8% crime citywide. So I think that's worth it. It also has 72 police vehicles. That is insane. Now show me all green. Yes, amazing, except for this area. The issue is the crime probability, and we definitely can't have crime near our rich people. Or maybe we could, because then they can just sue them. No, that's too much work. Instead, let's just add in some parks. And now each area has its own special little park. But there was something that everyone pointed out last time. The road maintenance was awful. So I'm going to quickly get in the road maintenance and the park maintenance. There's only one more service that I almost forgot, and that's our high schools and our elementary schools. So let's quickly get a few in. Okay, that took way longer than I thought it would, but I've completely revamped education across the board. We have 15,000 eligible and a capacity of 27,000 for elementary. For high school, we're in the clear by 4,000, and college and university is just silly. We have a 71,000 university capacity, yet somehow we've only increased the amount of uneducated people in the city. I guess the rich people are just born different. Anyways, with all of our services done and things fairly under control, it's time to finish off the rest of the zoning. This entire section has taken so long, and the plopping took extra long because I was fighting with demand the entire time, which is making me believe that my playstyle is just outdated, because I zoned everything in, and the demand is still here. Not only did I zone everything in, I used super fast building spawning. Basically what that means is the second you zone it, it spawns, which should theoretically destroy demand, but for some reason it doesn't. That's fine though. I'm open to change as long as the game works. Overall though, I think it turned out really nice, and I really like the university. It feels like a very special place, and somewhere that you just want to hang out. And I especially love the car wash, look at that bad boy. Now the household wealth is still wealthy, and the education is still stupid. So I guess doing all this work didn't solve anything yet, which means I only have one question. Is this a university you'd like to attend? And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Today's shoutouts go to Jake Hill, Gary Key, Mississippi Mikey, Aiden Fernelski, Henry Vopel, Dylan Barnett, James Robinson 23, Sinan Ozdemir, Soyan x2, The Poop Sheriff, Narwhal, Tank 110106, Sebastian Gwynn 7807, and to every single person who supports this channel, I genuinely cannot say thank you enough. If you want sneak peeks, save file access, and much more, you can join us over on Patreon or on YouTube. And other than that, I'll loon with you in the next one.